Lebanon has become a cash economy. It's the result of a 4-year-old financial crisis brought about by decades of mismanagement and corruption. The banking sector is crippled, and the country is close to bankruptcy.
It's the biggest threat that the government and the country is facing, because it is very, very, very dangerous that the entire economy is a cash economy. All the money is going to the private sector. The solution is only in one place. That is to normalize and finalize the restructuring of the banking system law.
Restructuring is one of the reforms required for much-needed international support to revive the economy. But that means the political and business elite will have to compromise their hold on power, something they have resisted so far. In the meantime, money transfer companies have stepped in, as have other financial institutions, many of which are not regulated.
50 to 60% of the total GDP are today considered to be in the shadow economy, so outside the state. This includes two types of activities. You have informal activities, which means enterprises who do not declare the employees that they have, who do not declare their exact revenues, but also you have the illicit part of these activities.
This is causing concern, particularly among Western nations, that tracking illicit cash transactions will become more difficult, compromising the fight against money laundering and the financing of armed groups. An estimated $8 billion is exchanging hands outside the radar of the state.
That includes illegal activities such as smuggling across the border to Syria. The informal economy is also growing. The International Labour Organization estimates that 60% of the workforce is not taxed and doesn't benefit from social protection.
The government is unable to provide services, and it struggles to pay public servants, although these salaries are negligible given inflation.
A cash economy means big losses. The government loses around 20 to 25% of expected revenues because of corruption, bribery, and tax evasion.
All the while, many warn Lebanon is operating outside the international financial system. Zaina Khudr, Al Jazeera, Beirut.
And Zaina is joining us live from Beirut now. Lebanon's central bank is trying to put a bottom on the free fall of the Lebanese lira, but are its efforts making any difference, Zaina?
No, the Lebanese lira, the local currency, is worthless. It has been devaluing over the past 4 years, since the onset of a financial crisis in late 2019. Since then, time and time again, the central bank pumps millions of dollars into the market, hoping to stabilize the exchange rate of the currency. Yes, it recovers slightly, but at the end of the day, it continues its depreciation. And that's why a few dozen people were gathered outside the government palace here in central Beirut. A short while ago, the security forces lobbed tear gas, excessive amounts of tear gas, to disperse the crowd. People here are upset. They say that they came here to demand better living conditions, that they can no longer survive, and that their purchasing power has been eroded. Yes, there is a portion of the population here who earn in dollars, but there's also a portion of the population who earn in the local currency and who are struggling to survive. With us is Firas Tanos. You've been fighting for the rights of depositors and the Lebanese people for 4 years now. What is your reaction to what happened today?
Actually, first, this is the tear gas that our government is shooting on us. Okay, these guys are asking for their rights after several years of service in the military service. They have their deposits at the banks, so even the government are not giving them their rights. Even the banks also are not withdrawing their money. So these guys, they have the right to do whatever they have to do, even though we saw some friendly fire. So we saw some soldiers that they are running, they carried them because they can't breathe anymore.
Yes,
so these guys are firing on the soldiers.
In between the people and the security of the government palace, yes. But we've seen protests like this over the past 4 years, and to no avail, nothing changes. Why?
Because most of the politicians, they don't have ears to hear, because they don't want to act accordingly, because they are not serious in solving the problem. Most of the rights it's non-discussable. You know, you don't need anyone to explain these rights, but they don't even in the parliament they didn't try even to find because they are protecting their own interests, because none of the parliamentarians or the ministers or the PM are not acting in a serious way, especially for the depositors' cause, because as we saw, as you know, that the capital control, we've been waiting for it for 3 years. We didn't see any capital control, any plan to solve the problem right until now.
Firas, can you tell us what daily life is like for the average Lebanese today?
It's a disaster. We are living in a disaster. We are withdrawing our money for 15,000 liras, and the lira is around 120 lira. 120. It reached the 150, 140 yesterday, and now it decreased to 120. This is a game actually in the rate of the lira, and we cannot spend, we cannot pay our electricity. It's becoming in dollars, actually kind of in dollars, and we are withdrawing our money for 15,000.
Firas, thank you very much. So as you can see, the economy is becoming dollarized. Not everybody has access to dollars. People's savings are trapped in banks. They take to the streets to ask for better living conditions, and the response is tear gas. And this is something we've seen for 4 years. The response from the state has been militarized.
Zaina, thank you very much for that. That is Zaina Khodr joining us live from Beirut. Thank you.